Hello and welcome back to Late Night with the Wolf. I'm your host, Loza Wolfe, and today, or rather tonight, we're going to be diving into this game that I found called Eterspire. Eterspire is this online multi-role-playing game that you can play not only on PC, but also cross-platform with that same account on your mobile device, which is really handy if you're in any kind of situation like I am, or if a lot of your time is spent away from your PC or desktop. Now, if you're a father of two or a father figure like I am, a lot of your time goes towards your kids and being a loving husband and all those other responsibilities that kind of gets thrown in there as well. So kind of getting a chance to sit down at a computer is slim to none. So with that being said, it's really nice that this is a game that when I don't have a chance to sit at a computer, I can actually play on my mobile device. So if you're anyone like me, this is probably something you might want to look at if you want to itch that MMORPG itch. Now, for this video, I'm just going to be playing through, let's say, the first 10 levels. I'm probably going to speed up a lot of the content. This way you don't have to watch a lot of kind of like filler of me going through all the quest line. Mostly to level up from 1 to 10, I'm going to be going through just the main quest line. So if you want to read the actual dialogue from the NPCs, just pause it or slow it down. But for the most part, I'm just going to speed through it. I'll slow down whenever I get to something maybe I want to highlight that I find is really nice about this game. And yeah, so without any further ado, let's jump into Eterspire. All right, so for this video, or rather for this character, I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to play through, and this is going to be a series over this Guardian that we're building. So I have already played this for a little bit, so I know a little bit more about the mechanics and how to progress. The other character that I made was Sorcerer. It flies through the levels. It's great at AoE, so you can kind of grind out those mobs a lot faster. And I hear that Guardian is the way to go if you're trying to farm out some of those, how do I say, boss rooms to get material or the upgrade pieces that you need to upgrade your armor or just stuff to sell, honestly. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. All right, so we're in Eterspire now, and let me just say that I love it. Like I said, it reminds me of past games that I played before. Now, one of the things that I will highlight is the cosmetics in this game. Whoever designs those, I'm not really sure. I haven't spent that much time on like figuring out who does what as far as the admin group or the creators of the game, but I love the cosmetics, and it might be something in the future that I go through and I just highlight all the cosmetics. It would be super cool if I had like an allowance or maybe even a test account that I could just show off what does each set look like, or even like wardrobes with Loza. That would be a cool segment to where I could kind of piece together different outfits. I love being able to mash together a bunch of different cosmetics to make something look cool, like maybe a helmet from this set, a chest piece from this set, a cape from this set. I digress, but it would be really cool if I could get that kind of content. But we'll see. All right, for right now, let's change our outfit so you can kind of see how well they did on these cosmetics. All right, and there we are. So like I said, the cosmetics look amazing. As you can see from here, this is just one set that I was kind of pushing to get because I really enjoyed it. Oh, wait, hold a second. All right, there we go. That's better. All right, so there's the full set that I was kind of pushing through, but you can get an idea of how well they did on the cosmetics. And if you're anything like me, cosmetics make the game go by a lot better, or a lot smoother. Something to look at as you're kind of grinding through some of the content. All right, so here we go. this would be a good time to kind of highlight something. So if you're in the middle of a fight, you've only got the HP that you have. There's going to be some items that you can pick up later on that'll let you heal a portion of your health. Right now, what you can mainly focus on is getting through a fight, surviving it, and then not attacking anything for a couple seconds, and then your health will regenerate all the way to full, and then you can go back to fighting. Another thing I can kind of highlight while we're here is if we're looking at our inventory, which is C, we look at what I have equipped. All right, our weapons give us one of our skills. All right, and it's going to change based on which weapon you use. So there's a bunch of different ones that you can acquire through your weapons. So that's just something I wanted to highlight real quick. So here we go. Let's progress with the speed up or the montage, or however you would say this. I don't really know. It's just speeding up the gameplay. All right, here we are at the first boss, technically. And so we're just going to fly through, try to kill this guy. One thing that I will say about the what is this class called? Guardian? Yeah. One thing I will say about the Guardian that I like so far is that it has a heal really early on. You'll notice the number 2, which is one of my skills. Let's see if it'll just tell what it is. Celestial Light. It summons a light around you, healing your allies and damaging your enemies. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Super nice, really nice sustain. Kind of gets you a little bit of damage, but also keeps you healthy in the process. So here we go, first fight. And this guy's really not that bad. Even on the Sorcerer, when I did him, it was pretty easy. It just kited him, came through, and just cleaned it up. You'll notice that I got the heal there, so don't have to worry about that. Here are some other things, just like other MMOs. It's got kind of like a AoE indicator, so where you can get out of the way of bigger spells. And there we go. All done. All right, and since we just got a drop there, I'll go ahead and talk about one more thing, and then we'll kind of speed along, hopefully a little bit further into level 10, or on the way to level 10. So you'll notice that I had an item pop up that I got from that drop. The best items, to my knowledge, will be excellent in quality. So let's see, which one did I get? I got this. It's just regular quality. It'll say excellent if it's that quality that's better. But you'll notice that the two skills are different between the Warhammer and the Battle Axe. So if I switch to this one, it's going to change my first skill. So it'll look like that instead. So yeah, let's just keep going. Another thing that I'll kind of highlight is if you come over to this guy as you're progressing through the main quest, this is where you get that epithet. I can't even say the word. It's the title to do the Iron Man challenge. And basically what that means is you pretty well work this whole game solo. You don't trade with anybody. You don't party with anybody. You're just kind of playing the game on your own. Now, if at some point while you're doing the Iron Man challenge, you decide, hey, it's not for me, you can actually just unequip that title, and then you can just go back to playing as usual. But this is where you get that title. So you just talk to him, tell him you want to become an Iron Man, and then you'll get the epithet for that. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm going to say title, because it's easier for me to say. Boom, there it is. And the way you equipped it is you go to your inventory, which is C. You'll see over here it has epithets. I can't say the word. Titles. And you'll have these over here you can use. So I could use this one, but I think I'm going to I'm not going to make this one an Iron Man challenge. I am going to do parties eventually. So I'll just do this one for right now. They have a ton that you can actually acquire through the game and also through the store, which I can show you really quick. Here's the store. Here's what it looks like. Here's all the cosmetic sets they have currently. These are all gotchas where you have to kind of spend for a chest that will get a random piece of equipment. And they have a bunch of different ones. You can also opt into just the default sets right here. These are really nice. You get the whole set for 200, which is a really good price in comparison to doing these randomized ones where each one costs 100 and you get a random piece, not a full set. So it's up to you. I will say that I went through and I did most of this one to get that entire set because I really liked the way it looked. And you can kind of see, I mean, all the details and all the cosmetics look great. I'll probably keep bolstering. Whoever does their cosmetics does a great job. So, yep, there's their store, and we'll just keep going. All right, this would be another good time to kind of highlight something. So I always forget about it, so I end up walking back and forth, which takes a lot of time, and it honestly occupies a lot of my gameplay. But something nice about Eterspire is that as you're killing random mobs, you'll get warp tokens, or I forget what they're called, teleport tokens, that'll let you teleport to any place that you've already been. So I could actually teleport here. I could teleport back to this main area to turn in my quest. I could also teleport directly to the Adventurers Guild to turn it in. Now, if it's a yellow icon or dot, you can actually teleport there with no cost. They're teleport orbs, that's what they are. And you'll collect a bunch of them, so don't worry about using them, just use them. It's going to save you a lot of time as far as getting back and forth to different areas, as well as maximizing the amount of experience that you gain as you're progressing through this game. All right, so this would be another spot that I can highlight something that they just recently released for this game, and that's enraged mobs. Now, as you're going through and you're progressing through the game, you're going to find random mobs that will actually become enraged and grow in size and use skills that'll do AoE damage, or there'll be indicators on the ground showing you they're going to be using bigger skills. We'll just say that. With that being said, there's also, at the time of this video, they're doing a event where if you take a screenshot of yourself next to an enraged mob, you post it on their Discord, you get benefits based on how many posts are actually delivered to the Discord spot for the images, if that makes sense. So I'll leave a link to that in the description of the video if you want to check that out. But you can also find it just by searching Eterspire Discord and just joining that Discord. So I'm actually going to take care of my submission during this video. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going. I'm going to enrage one of these. See if I can get one to enrage. So neither one of those enraged. We'll kill both of those. Come over here, see if we can get one to enrage. Oh, there it is. All right, so that's what I was talking about with the enraged monster. Let's see if I can do this without dying. All right. There we go. So something nice about the enraged monster is that not only does it look bigger and adds a little bit of a challenge, it also gives you increased experience along with a higher drop rate for the items that mob specifically drops. So that's really nice. And I think it's a really interesting or nice addition to the game as a whole. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to highlight, since we're here, is you have an ability tree that you'll get talent points or points to spend every so often. I'm not really sure about the scaling because it goes from 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, and then 15, 18, 25, 30. So it looks like once you get to a certain level, it's about every other 5 levels. But in the earlier stages, it has like a different number of levels you need for each one. But once you hit 25, I believe it's every 5 levels you get a point to spend up until it looks like level 60, and then it's 20 levels. So there you have it. And then each one, some of them give you skills, some of them are passives. This one that we're on right now, it looks like it is a skill. It goes in my ability slot, or active ability slot 2. So that looks like it's a taunt. I'm not doing the tank roll right now. I'm just looking for DPS. So we'll probably do this one because I believe this is an AoE. So that's the tree for your abilities. this is a good spot to kind of talk about things real quick. So your equipment that you get throughout the world, or if you buy it off somebody, it's going to have an upgrade maximum level. You can get it to go up to 5. And if it's not at max 5, let's say that your max upgrade for an equipment piece is like 2, you can actually make these to increase it up to 5. And so they're called Exalt runes. They increase the maximum level. There's also some equipment that's going to have negative effects on them. You can actually get rid of those negative by using purging runes that look like this. And then if you want to change what the bonuses are, you can use these reforge runes. Now, the way that you level up your equipment is by utilizing these fragments or soul fragments. Now, I believe these are heart fragments and these are mind fragments. I'm not for sure. These are worth a little bit more because the rate at which they are successful is higher. So you can actually sell these for a lot more than these. I believe from what I've talked to other players, that these are going for 25 or 35k each. You'll have to check Discord just to make sure, or just ask around, honestly. This is where most of your money is going to be made early on, because once you get to that first level dungeon, you can actually farm out a bunch of these and just sell them to a player. And I will also say that I found quite a few of these somewhere. I found 6 just in a random spot. I don't remember exactly where on the wizard, but these are worth, I think, 200,000 a piece, if not more. So yeah, just keep your eye out for these. Save these. Don't use these unless you absolutely have to. Early on, I mean, you could probably get away with just like the default gear up until a certain point, and then you probably want to upgrade just a little bit. But you go through sets so fast, it's honestly not even worth upgrading until closer to end game. So you might just sell these or keep a hold of them in case you absolutely have to use them. And that's just my advice, my opinion. You don't have to do that. You can use them however you want. But these are where you're probably going to make most of your money. So let's just say that I wanted to upgrade this. All right, right now it's got an upgrade max at 3. So I can't upgrade any further than 3, but you can use these that are of the same quality. You'll notice this is a bronze shard, and this is a bronze weapon. So as long as they're the same quality, it also tells you right here what it can be upgraded with, then you can use it to upgrade it. All right, so we're at level 1. You can kind of see the difference. So it's got 6 plus 4 damage, 106 attack speed. Let's go ahead and do it again so you can see how much more it's going to change. All right, and now it's plus 7. So went up by 3, I think. We'll do it one last time, max it out to the plus 3. And there you go. So now we're sitting at plus 11. So that's going to help out when we're trying to speed through some of this earlier content. All right, so we're almost to the end of this video. I was originally going to stop at level 10, but I noticed that in order to progress to the next part of the quest line, you had to be at level 11. So that's why we're going to go ahead and move to... Excuse me. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move to a level 11 before I get off and end this video. A couple things I want to say is, again, I love the game. It's super nice, super smooth. Oh, man. Apologize for that. I'm still getting over a cold that I had. But let me just say the game's super nice. I love the graphics. I love the visuals. I love the cosmetics. I've talked about the cosmetics multiple times. And let me just say, if this is the game for you, if you are in need of something that you can play not only while on your phone, but also on your computer and use that same progress, this is the game for you. Another thing that I want to kind of add to this is if you are a dad and you're purposeful with your time and you're very disciplined about how you use your time and who you give your time to, I respect you 100%. I understand where you're coming from, and it's hard to put time aside for yourself. Make sure you do that. This way you don't get burned out. And whether that's on your mobile phone or a time you have to use after everybody goes to bed, that's pretty well what I'm going to be doing from this point forward. Is this series is going to be a late night with Wolfe. Just from where everybody goes to bed, I spend about an hour extra after everybody goes to sleep, play through some games with you all, kind of showcase some things that I like. And yeah, make sure you put time aside for yourself. But if no one tells you that they're proud of you, I'm proud of you and what you're doing for your family. I understand completely where you're coming from. Make sure that you, like I said, give yourself some time to kind of rejuvenate, fill your batteries. This way you can hit the next day hard and continue to be purposeful with your time. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. This series will continue through the quest line. I'm not going to say that it's going to be about 10 levels every time, but it'll give you about an hour's worth of content. I am going to put a timer from the start to the finish of this video. This way you can kind of see how much time I actually dedicated towards getting to level 11. It really wasn't that long, maybe about an hour or so, but we'll know once I put the timer up there. All right, so without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out Eterspire if you haven't already. If you see me in game, definitely give me a shout out. Talk to me. I love being able to communicate or play with my viewers. And just shoot me an ad. I think you can add people on here by hitting P if you're on computer, or if you're on your phone, it'll be these icons down here at the bottom, the 2 people. You'll tap that button and you'll go to friends list. And I believe you can you type people's name in here? Yeah, so you can just type in my name, Loza Wolfe YouTube. I think that's what I put for this character. And just add me through that way. I love the game with y'all. And just, yeah, continue through this Guardian. See where we can get him. Now, max level is 160, so there's a lot of content that we can get through. But I feel like this series, I'll probably just progress all the way to the end of the main storyline. And we'll see how far it gets us. So, I know I went past when I said I was going to end it, but now I'm ending it. So, thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And I look forward to the next part of Eterspire with you all. I'm Loza Wolfe. I'll catch you next time.
Game every night, we on Loza will fight. Brothers in hand, keep the levels in sight. I bet you to the stream, level up the scene. On the grind, never stop, little out the dream. Press the buttons fast, come to each press. Friends from my side, putting skills to the test. A virtual reality with every new theme. Join the community, part of the team.